Adventist vegetarian diabetics. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. Practice portion control. What is portion control? I would like to suggest that real temperance for a diabetic is portion control. First, you need to be aware of what constitutes a portion or serving of every food or drink you consume. If you don't know, you should consult a reliable food database. For accountability and motivation, keep a detailed food journal. Keeping a detailed food journal. If you have never kept a detailed food journal before, you should do that for at least a few weeks, often much longer, until you have an accurate idea of what and how much you are eating. Your food journal can be as simple as a manually written one or as complex as a computer or phone app, like MyFitnessPal and others. One feature that I absolutely love about MyFitnessPal is that it has a built-in recipe analyzer. For me, that's a game changer. However, if you choose a different app for tracking your food intake and it doesn't have a recipe analyzer, you can use a standalone nutrition calculator. You might track only the food and the amount of carbohydrates per serving, since it's carbohydrates that are raising your blood sugar, or you can track a full bank of calories and macronutrients, carbs, fat, fiber, protein, etc. However, in either case you need to know the portion size of one serving and write it down. Add the grams of carbohydrate in one meal or snack, then calculate the total for the day. If you have been following the standard American diet, SAD, that is, eating whatever you want whenever you want, try to at least limit your food intake to ADA, American Diabetes Association, guidelines of 150 to 200 grams of carbohydrates per day. That's roughly 45 to 60 grams per meal, or 15 to 20 grams per serving. You may be shockingly surprised at the amount of carbohydrates you've been eating. If you have already been following ADA dietary guidelines but, over the years, have found that diet and exercise and perhaps medications just aren't keeping your blood sugars under control anymore, you should consider a lower-carb diabetes dietary protocol. You can do this whether you are dietary vegan, vegetarian, or Adventist non-vegetarian or pescatarian. Low carb can mean anything from under 100 grams of total carbohydrates a day to as few as 20 to 30 grams a day. When you start a very low-carb way of eating, be sure to keep track of your blood glucose and medications, because eating low-carb may require a reduction of dosage in some medications and insulin. Otherwise, you may get low blood sugars. Please consult with your doctor on this. Be sure to check your blood glucose first thing in the morning, fasting blood glucose, at bedtime, and at one other random time during the day. Record these blood glucose numbers in your food journal. And, if you are on diabetes medications and/or insulin, write the times and dosages in, too. This way, you'll be able to see how any changes in your diabetes dietary protocol are affecting your blood sugar numbers. If you'd like to get closer to the non-diabetic normal A1C of 4.0 to 5.6% and/or if you'd like to get off medications and/or insulin, use portion control to tweak your diabetes management. Learn how to practice portion control and implement portion control at every meal or snack of every day. Addiction. While we have always thought temperance, law of health number 5, has to do with abstaining from alcohol, tobacco, and drug abuse, I believe it also applies to food addiction. Many have admitted to having a sugar addiction. I have to have something sweet. How many times have you said that to yourself? Some are addicted to carbs in particular. And others are just addicted to food. Even if your head knows all the right things you should, and shouldn't, eat, you frequently don't follow your own good advice. And when you fail, you feel guilt and shame. None of that is helpful. Dr. Eric Westman recommended a book, Food Junkies, Recovery from Food Addiction, by Vera Tarman. Look for it on Amazon.com. Even if you don't buy it immediately, click on the Look Inside link and read the sample. Moderation versus portion control. One of my pet peeves is the cliché, everything in moderation. Is domestic violence okay in moderation? Never. How about bank robbery in moderation? Absolutely not. We diabetics would like to think we can eat anything as long as it's in moderation. But that is simply not true. In moderation is extremely vague. Moderation is not a unit of measurement and can mean vastly different things to different people. For any diabetic who is serious about practicing temperance, it's not enough to say, eat in moderation or just a little bit or only a taste. You have to establish a strong habit of awareness of exactly how much of any given food you eat and the amounts of macronutrients, especially carbohydrates, and calories in that portion. Many believe we are actually healthier by eating a small range of healthy foods, than everything in moderation. Another myth is about eating a balanced diet. Does that mean the same amount of every food? Does it mean having a sandwich in both hands? Or does it mean to have equal amounts of good food and bad food? Diet Doctor sums it up: don't eat everything in moderation. Eat as much healthy food as you can, whenever you are hungry. Eat as little unhealthy garbage as you can. If possible, none at all. Visit our website at AdventistVegetarianDiabetics.com. Follow our blog at AdventistVegetarianDiabetics.com/blog posts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/AdventistVegetarianDiabetics. Copyright by Adventist Vegetarian Diabetics.